So, I saw Jurassic World, and first, before I get into that, I'm going to read something first that I wrote a few years ago. It's called The Bottom Feeder's Frenzy. This was the real secret: annihilation. Nothing else. A chemical pulse that dissolved finally in violent light. No stories, now we would always be frightened. Joseph Cannon in the fictionalized Los Alamos. As the apex predator with zero competition or predatory threats to challenge, the human species is, as a result, naturally destructive and hostile towards one another. Humans likely would not be able to survive if we stopped preying upon our own. Everlasting peace is unnatural. Humans are cannibalistic in almost every sense of the word. However, most do not like to even consider entertaining the notion of legitimately consuming another. Though an argument can be made that the Catholics are most prevalent practitioners of this taboo through their pseudo-enactment by eating the metaphorical body and blood of Christ at communion, and the Bible itself is quite pro-cannibalism at the core. I mean, people are cannibalistic in a more psychic vampire sense of things, though. They devour one another because people love the abuse, as it makes the abused feel like they are needed, and the sadists feel like the lion who kills the weaker animal for sport rather than food. Death is a carnal entertainment. The psychic vampires are inherently bottom feeders who drain everyone else's resources and energy. Being naturally self-destructive, humans are the only species to create means of omnicide in order to feel safer. War is truly peace. Though the Cold War ended decades ago, the threat of mutually assured destruction is still most people's faith in settings of atomically stocked superpowers. Yet, there is a likely possibility that the creation of the nuclear bomb was the beginning of the end of human history, as it would be the ultimate omnicidal act if atomic combat ever occurred. And as such, that could hypothetically make July 16th, 1945 at 5:29 a.m. the final moment of the human era on Earth. The father of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer, himself realized this, and, during the Trinity test, and, there's the famous line from the Bhagavad Gita he quoted, as well as George Kostiowski, after viewing the explosion, who said, "This is the nearest thing to doomsday that one could possibly imagine. I am sure that at the end of the world, and the last millisecond of the Earth's existence, the last human will see what we saw." And, pair all this with, then take all that, pair it with Anton LaVey. Satan represents man as just another animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those that walk on all fours, who, because of his divine and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of all. It is not much as a surprise, pair this with the idea of the great filter, that the reason we have yet to encounter any other intelligent species is because they destroy themselves before they are able to travel the cosmos as a mission, and it's the natural order of things. The conclusion to this is that there is no conclusion, and it is an open and ever-going idea that will persist until the human race is finished. And now, where does Jurassic World come in? Well, in the movie, they find themselves stranded on an island. What's new? With dinosaurs all around. What's new? So, anyway, I forget all the characters' names. They really should have done more. I think they could have done a lot more character building, but I guess with what the movie was, it makes sense that there wasn't that much character building, so I can't really complain. And I mean, to be fair, well, that's not true. The first Jurassic Park movie did some pretty good character build-up. I mean, yeah. But, anyway, so the rich guy is like, "I'm too smart to die," and the scientist says, "Intelligence is massively overrated as an adaptive trait." And I'm reading the script here. He says, "Oh yeah." Then the scientist, "Seriously, enlighteners, dinosaurs, and then he said, "Dinosaurs, pretty dumb, right?" and yet they survived for 167 million years. And we Homo sapiens, geniuses by comparison, have about 200,000 years so far. But with our huge cranial cavities that are so smart, we already have the capacity to annihilate ourselves. I doubt we make it even another million. And then the rich guy butts in, hold on, don't we rule the earth? We've got to be doing something right. Then the scientist retorts, we don't rule the earth, we just think we do. And sure, we're changing the environment, but that makes us the ones to worry about, not the planet. When the earth gets tired of us, believe me, it will shake us off like a summer cold. Of all species that have existed on earth, 99.9 of them are now extinct. Survival is a long shot. Every day could be our last. And that's the end of that interaction in the scene. Well, that part of the scene. But I think that it's really what, it's what I've been writing. Like, it's not, I'm not the first or the last. However, I think it's a very, very good idea to have been injected into this film, because I like that they show the scientist to be also, I don't know, I very much like that it seemed very satanic. And that's about it.